Right. I just wanted to do a little video because I've got a bit of time. I've got an hour and a half left of a 6.5 hour drive down to Southampton. And it's not very often I get the time to make these videos. Because generally I'm busy. Oh, yeah, busy. But I like to make these videos on men's mental health. To try and keep it at the front of people's minds. Because it's something that generally a lot of people suffer with. I mean, just not even men's mental health, just mental health in general, and suffering with your mind. Because your mind can be a funny thing. Because your mind is the filter that you interpret everything through. Your five senses gets filtered through the mind, and then that pretty much builds your perspective of the world around you. In Germany, a lot of people, definitely myself, there's only generally two real things that people suffer with. And a lot of it comes back to anxiety. A lot of it comes back with depression. And that all comes back through the perspective of your mind on what you're doing in your life. That anxiety creates that depression. Or how you view the world. And then what you do in your life that builds in filters. How life gets perceived through. Like drinking, like drugs. Because everything you do is a filter. So like, people might think smoking weed is generally nothing. But when you're stoned, your reality comes through that filter. That filter of your mind being under the influence of that thing. Or generally it might be something that you suffer with because of something else. I mean, a lot of people have ADHD. A lot of people have different forms of autism. And then that affects how you see the world. How your mind deconstructs the information that comes through your senses. And I mean, I can only speak from my experience of what I sort of deal with. And I've gone through cycles of where I'm a little bit more irritable, and I do get a lot of background anxiety. I go through bouts of depression, but it doesn't really affect me as much as it used to, because I know what it is now. Because I used to, you start believing that you're depressed for certain reasons, you're depressed about your life. You feel like you need to fix something on the external. But generally in the here and the now, in the present moment, when you look around you and you actually sit and think, there's not really much in the present moment that is wrong. And I mean, that I can't speak for all people, because some people have bigger problems than others, and some people have got problems in the here and the now that are hard to deal with. But it's not the thing itself that's hard to deal with, it's the emotions about the thing, and it's the thoughts about the thing. And it's gone back to the root cause of what's making that thing hard, like the emotion and the thought about it. And being able to deal with emotions and being able to deal with thoughts. And I mean, you can't stop emotions and you can't stop thoughts. You can't stop them from happening. And I mean, a lot of people haven't really got much control over, or what they haven't realised is what you have got control over is where you put your attention. And I did make a video about this last time, and I did find it quite hard to describe, to get over what I mean about your attention. Because when you don't try control your attention gets pulled from pillar to post, like here, there. You're going from your thought of an emotion back to observing the things on the outside, to back to how you think about, like while you're thinking about what you're seeing or what you're hearing, and then while you're attaching the feeling to the thought, and then that them feelings and them thoughts is what creates your idea and your perspective of what you're seeing, like the world around you. And the only way you can really get around that is by learning how to control your attention. And I mean, the best way to control your attention is distract it with something else. We live our lives nearly pretty much stuck up here thinking all the time. And if our attention isn't on our thoughts, it's on how we feel. But what you think creates your emotion. So the only way to get around it is to try getting away from being stuck up here all the time. And the only way that I've learned to deal with my reality and what the way my mind thinks about what I see, about the world around us and the people around us, is to distract my attention and to pull my attention away from my mind. And to pull my attention away from that feeling, that pit of anxiety in my stomach. And generally the best way I've learned is to put my attention in my body. Because when you put your attention pretty much can only be on one thing at a time. And a lot of people get overstimulated because you've got that much going on. You're looking at your phone, you're listening to someone speaking, you're listening to your thoughts, you've got your attention on how you feel. Like your attention's scattered all the time, you get overwhelmed. And then you get burnt out. And when you get burnt out, that's generally when my depression would start, because I'm getting overstimulated. I'm constantly, my attention's on the go. There's no respite for it. way I would sort of find the best way for me is to put my attention inside my body. You can start by putting your attention in your hands. If you put your attention fully in your hands, you'll feel tingling. And you can sit with that tingle, that tingling sensation in your hands, and that sometimes can be enough when you're in their moments when you feel like it's getting a bit too much, to just give you a rest. And you'll realise when your attention's in your hands or in your body or in your feet or just generally in your legs or anywhere, your attention's not on your thoughts and it's not on your emotions. Your attention solely is in the sensations of the body. The body is very neutral. You'll realise that it's quite a pleasant feeling, especially if all you're used to is this feeling of anxiety. And it slows your mind right down. It makes life more manageable. I mean, this is just another form of mindfulness, and I mean that's at one point in my life I had no choice. I had to find a way that I could deal with reality because it was getting a bit too much for me. And I'm not going to lie, I felt suicidal. I was suicidal because I didn't know how I was going to survive the rest of my life feeling the way I did. And it wasn't because of any reason. It wasn't because I had drunk, because I barely drink. But I did used to smoke a lot of weed for to try to sedate myself, because it was the only time I had any sort of feel good feeling was when I was stoned. But I knew that was no way to live the rest of my life. I mean, I do the job I'm in, I have to have different sort of tests, so I can't live like that. I had to find another way. And that was the way of finding something that helps me, like a self-help. You need to learn that what your mind tells you isn't true. The more that I live from my thoughts and the more that I live from my mind, doing what my mind tells me to do, because generally it seems like your thoughts are yours because it's your voice. But that voice in your head, it's not really you. You're the perceiver of your mind. I mean, this is deeper now. But you're not the thing. You're not the body. You're the thing that perceives everything. And the best way to become your true natural self is by quieting this down, learning how to quiet the mind. And the best way to quiet the mind is through mindfulness, and mindfulness is just another form of meditation. Because when you realise, if you think you're just a mind, when your mind goes silent, and even when there's no emotion, but you're still there. Your body goes to sleep, you dream, you're aware of your dreams, that consciousness is never switched off. That you're always aware. You are the awareness of your body and of your experience. But it's not until you realise that you're not your thoughts and that you're not your emotions that you can take them less seriously and stop believing everything that it tells you to do. wasn't until I started to learn this that I started to break free of habits like going on the drink on a Friday, sniffing coke, smoking weed, drinking myself unconscious. My mind telling us that I wasn't good enough to do something that I loved. Creating anxiety with things, stopping us from doing things. I don't know how many opportunities I've missed because I've listened to what my mind had to tell us. Listen to like the anxiety. Why was I anxious? Why was I scared? Are just emotions. They just come and go. I like passing clouds. But thoughts and emotions pass. But you're the thing that's constantly there. You're the awareness that always stays. So when emotion passes, it passes. When a thought goes, it goes. But you're the thing. You are the thing that stays even when your mind is silent. And I've said before that you are energy. And it's a scientific fact, energy is never created or destroyed. It always is at one constant level. Energy is transferred. You have a soul. You are a soul. Stop living from this. Stop living from here. Stop believing what your mind has to tell you. Because the more you acknowledge a thought and just turn the other cheek, the less power and the less control they'll have over you. You aren't defined by what your mind tells you you are. You're defined about your actions or what you take. The actions are what you do. You're not defined by how you feel. The only way to get over feelings is by running at them head on. I seen a thing on the I think it was on the National Geographic channel. It's about the bison in the I don't know where it is. But when there's a bad storm, it doesn't run away from the storm because it means it's going to spend more time in that storm because the storm's following it. So it's just kind of constantly be in the storm. And it knows that the only way, the fastest way to get through a storm is to turn and run at it head on. Because when you run at a storm head on, it's going to pass you sooner. You're going to get through it quicker. And that is the only logical way to get through your life. To get past your fears and to get past what this is telling you. Take no notice. Pay no attention to it. Learn about mindfulness. Learn how to distract your attention away from your mind and away from your emotions. Learn how to relax your attention as well. Putting your attention in different parts of your body and then just relaxing your body. And it brings it away from how you're feeling and what you're thinking. Well, that's pretty much it. And I know I've said this stuff before, but to be honest, I think it's one of them things that it's pretty timeless, to be honest. And aye, 20 minutes is a canny fucking video though, isn't it? So if you listen, you obviously need it, and if you don't, I hope you're all good, brother, sisters. But aye, peace out.